what does this remind you of?
Halloween.
Trick-or-treating.
Not Christmas.
Halloween.
Halloween. And you're never too old to go trick-or-treating, right?
We tested that out last week.
Yeah, we did test that out in church last week. So even adults still go trick-or-treating today, right? Now, have you ever sat down and thought about Halloween? It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
You dress up in costumes and some people go around and scare little children. Kind of odd, right?
Not real. Yes, it is.
So, where did Halloween come from? And how did it become so popular?
Oh,
You don't know.
good question. Very good question.
Well, actually, Halloween came from a Celtic festival and was brought to America by the Irish who were fleeing the potato famine.
Oh.
And it has developed into a sugary and spooky yet kind of funny holiday. Initially, Halloween originates from a Celtic festival known as Samhain, but it's spelled Samhain. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It celebrated the end of the harvest, and it was a time used to take stock of supplies and gather all of your supplies for the winter. And the purpose of this was to convert pagans, who were people who didn't have the same religious beliefs as everyone else in the world. So the purpose of this was to convert those people and try and convince them that their religion was wrong. And then they believed on the night before the new year, the spirits of the dead came back and haunted all of the living people by trying to destroy crops, trying to cause illnesses, and just create chaos. Therefore, the Celts dressed up in costumes and masks, not like this one, but here's the idea. Darth Vader. Here you go. You can do whatever you want to with it. But they were dressed up in masks and costumes to try and scare away the evil spirits and convince the spirits that they weren't human. Later on, Pope Gregory III made November 1st All Saints' Day. It was also called All Hallows' Day because hallow means to make holy. And they took some of Samhain's traditions, and then Samhain was also the same date as All Hallows' Eve. All Hallows' Eve, Halloween, kind of get it, sort of. So that's how Halloween got its name. So how did Halloween manage to travel from Central Europe in the early 1800s to North America to becoming the second most popular holiday? Historians believe that the people who were fleeing Ireland's potato famine brought over some of the English customs to America. The immigrants stormed to America and brought their traditions with them. Americans take after the Irish and English because on Samhain in England, they would, the poor people would go around and beg from the rich people for food and money, and they got what was called soul cakes, which is just a cheap little bread pastry. But in return, the family would ask that they promise to pray for their dead relatives. And this eventually led to our concept of trick-or-treating. But instead of getting soul cakes, we get candy. And you can get candy once this is done, because you've already gotten it before. After 3 centuries, Halloween is now the second most popular holiday next to Christmas, because we spend almost $6 billion annually. But instead of dressing up and trying to scare away the evil spirits, we dress up in masks or costumes to try and win costume contests or to just be goofy. And some people actually use it as an excuse to be kind of provocative and dress in revealing costumes that aren't socially acceptable except for on Halloween. Also, some of this year's top costumes are Honey Boo Boo, Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games, Lady Gaga, and in Arkansas, Bobby Petrino and his little friend on his scooter.
Motorcycle.
Motorcycle, forgive me. And instead of begging for soul cakes, we go trick-or-treating for candy. But this year, over 75% of it is chocolate.
Ooh, something bad.
So who knew that such a fun, sugary, and kind of costume-filled holiday is actually derived from a Celtic festival that was trying to scare away the evil spirits? How weird is that?
Who
new?
Mind blown.
I don't know. Mind blown.
Did you
So
do
next
anything
year,
already do that?
when you are picking out your Honey Boo Boo costume or your Bobby Petrino costume and makeup, you need to remember that while you were having fun 3 centuries ago, this holiday was serious in order to scare away evil spirits.